Kaine, we need to replace Robert E. Lee's statue with this politically correct choice. Tim McCain wants to replace one of the two statues in the Capitol from Virginia with Pocahontas. Liz Warren, where are you? It's obvious that Tim Kaine is trying to be politically correct with his choice. If you could pick two choices for Virginia, would you pick Pocahontas? Tim Kaine replacing Robert E. Lee's statue with Pocahontas. Why wouldn't you think about Pocahontas? We wouldn't even be here. Ay vey, here we go. It's statues now, but next it's our currency, and then who knows if they'll come for something you hold dear. Books? This is maddening. All we can say is we're so happy Tim Kaine didn't make it to vice president. He's a doofus. Does Tim Kaine know that Cherokee Indians fought for the Confederacy? Should we take this down in honor of those brave Cherokee Indians loyal to the Confederacy, 1861 to 1865, commanded by Colonel W.M.H. Thomas. Dedicated September 29, 1935, the dedication ceremony began with an assembly call from a Boy Scout bugler in front of the Reservation Council House. UDC District Director Mrs. Preston Thomas of Asheville introduced the principal speaker, Mrs. E.L. McKee of Silva. Miss McKee stressed the need of Southern history being perpetuated and eulogized the Indian soldiers of the Confederacy. Mrs. W.A. Hyatt of Waynesville presented the monument to Dr. Howard Faught, the reservation superintendent, who accepted the monument as representative of the government, and to Chief Jarrett Blythe, who accepted on behalf of the Cherokee John F. Hodges Jr., grandson of Colonel Thomas and John Tatum Ellis, then removed the Confederate battle flag that veiled the memorial. After a salute to the Confederate flag led by Mrs. E.E. McDowell of the Fanny Patton chapter, UDC, the Indians sang America and Beulah Land in their native language. Several hundred were in attendance, North Carolina Confederates. Let's take a quick listen here.
In the Capitol in D.C., it's an interesting one. John, you and I know the story. Every state gets two statues to put in Statuary Hall or throughout the Capitol. And just using Virginia as an example, the state gets to choose two people to represent the entire scope of the state's history. Virginia obviously chose George Washington, the father of the country, but the second choice that was made in 1909 and has never been changed is Robert E. Lee. I think as you look at the scope of Virginia history here in 2017, and if you want there to be two people to really stand for who Virginia is, why wouldn't you think about Pocahontas, who, had she not saved John Smith's life, we wouldn't even be here possibly? Why wouldn't you?
Isn't it amazing? Boy, we dodged a bullet with that one. We dodged a bullet. And you know, Hillary picked him specifically because she wanted an idiot as a vice president, so this way she could run rampant around the White House without him even understanding what's going on. He's such an idiot.